Good morning, Kansas City. This is another edition of KCPS Homeroom, and I'm your host for the ELA Tuesday at this portion. And my name's Chris Odom. Today I'm joined by Amber Levon, and exciting story. We've been doing these a couple sessions. Amber's also from one of my creative writing classes of the past when I worked at Paseo Academy in Kansas City, Missouri. Simply put out a call to people and said if anyone would be kind of interested in talking about if they are still doing writing or what their real goals have been since high school and how they've accomplished what they've set to do, and just been fascinated to hear from everybody for one, and then excited to hear from everybody for two, and then definitely kind of mesmerized by all of the amazing stories I'm hearing. So Amber's going to share hers with us a little bit and give us an update of what's been going on with her since. What year did you graduate from Paseo Academy?
2007.
Okay, so I have no idea what you've been doing since then, but we caught up a little bit before this, and I have some clue. Catch us up a little bit, Amber. What's been going on for you since 2007?
Since 2007, I have completely just bounced around in my 20s. You know, I was touching a bunch of different things, doing a bunch of different career choices. I went to school for a little bit to be a preschool teacher. It really wasn't the right fit for me. I ended up having my own housekeeping business. It wasn't the right fit for me. I ended up working, and that's when I got into property management. Ended up working for a guy who owned his own houses, and I ended up doing that for a couple of years. And then when I realized, like, this isn't it. I need something totally different for myself. I just need to just get away from the culture I grew up in and just try something different. And so with everything I've been doing, I ended up just cashing out my savings account. I got on the plane to Hawaii and I've never looked back. I've been here for about 2 years now, and it's been a wonderful experience.
Yeah, we were catching up on that, and that's just so. Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, you're not there on vacation. You live in Hawaii. So
totally different experiences for anybody that wants to know. If you're here on vacation, it's a totally different experience than actually moving down here.
Yeah, we'll break it down for us because we're not all going to get to go right away. Like what you were telling me, it's not something you'd recommend for everybody. What's it been like to have to kind of make it there?
The biggest thing is down here in Hawaii, it's not what you know, it's who you know. A lot of connections and a lot of opportunities come from getting to know people and making friends down here. You can come down here with all the book knowledge in the world, even all the money in the world, but unless you have like resources, connections, people in your corner supporting you and stuff, the chances of success down here is slim to none. So I don't recommend coming down here not knowing anybody. I don't recommend just coming down here on your own, on fly on the handle, because you will struggle a lot until you start making friends. I recommend you get to know somebody down here. Now, vacation's an entirely different story. You come down here on vacation, just have dinero, and you're pretty much set. You're all good with that. But to come down here and live, to come down here and make a name for yourself, definitely the first thing you would want to do is make friends down here first.
Very good advice. All right. Well, we're going to hear from you some more about what you've been doing. Again, you caught me up a little bit about your writing path, and that's been really interesting, again, from hearing from people from your grade level, from people all different grade levels. I kind of had a guess once they would enter a program called creative writing, pursue it kind of your own choice, that quite a few people wouldn't just stop all of a sudden after it was over. So you're one of those people who's still writing quite a few different little projects and things, right? And
yes.
Why don't you bring us up into some of that idea? What are you doing? What are you trying to work on with your writing? What are you trying to accomplish by writing things?
I still consider writing a hobby of mine. I haven't tried to publish any of my work yet. I haven't tried to become a well-renowned author yet because it's just something that I love doing. And when I can just write on my own time in my own way with my own creative thought process, then it's just so much more freedom for me with it. But a lot of the things I write, it's just a wide variety. Like I'm working on two sci-fi novels right now, as well as 2 self-help books for people. And so I gave you a sample of one of my sci-fi novels that I'm working on. Another one is almost completed. My sci-fi novels are very long. I actually have the vision of them being a Netflix series one day, but they're so there's within my self-help novels, they're just a little bit more down to earth. They're kind of a little bit controversial. They're a little bit more for people who I wish to accept responsibility for their actions and roles and things.
Interesting. So those are kind of aggressive self-help books.
Yes, they would be aggressive because I read a lot of self-help books myself. And for me, sometimes it's a thing called tough love.
Right.
Sometimes the biggest help is just that in your face, blunt, no, this is what you need to do. Huh. Because a lot of the ways I've helped myself came from somebody else giving me that tough love advice. Like, no, Amber, get your stuff together.
That's fair. I believe that's a lot of what good teachers trying to pull off sometimes in the classroom too, right? So that's really cool. Got any titles or anything in mind? I'm curious about like your concept for that and what you're going to need an interesting title. Not Tough Love. I think that one's taken.
Not Tough Love, yes, and stuff. But okay, so I have one book that I call Undesirable. It's like, are you undesirable, ugly, quit having sex? That's the one. That's the self-help book and stuff. Because there's a lot of people out here and stuff. I know, and I was worried about it being an inappropriate title. That's why I didn't turn the sample in from that one. But okay. The basic point of that book is one. If you feel like you're undesirable, if you feel like you're ugly and stuff, then quit messing with people who you don't even like, who you feel like you settle for, and just put that energy into yourself. See, I have this theory about sexual energy and stuff. If you use your energy and stuff to enhance yourself instead of giving it away to somebody else, you will improve and you will one day attract the kind of people that you want for yourself because you've become that person for them to attract. Like, it's chemistry. If people are attracted to you, they give you a chance, but you have to make yourself attractive first. You have to make yourself desirable first. And it's more than just the looks you're born with and stuff. There's some things you can't help. You can't help the skin you're born in. You can't help your facial features, but you can help your size. You can't help being healthy. You can help having clear skin. You can help these things. You can help how you dress. You can help how you present yourself to the world. These are all things that you do have control over, so focus on that.
Interesting. Yeah, that's where I can hear your passion in that. That's really cool. So you're finding that voice in doing this writing. Is it influenced by living in Hawaii to say things of that caliber? Because I don't live there, but I'm imagining that there's kind of the plan there being very earth-centered would be to be healthy too. Is that the way of Hawaii coming through, or were you thinking this way before then?
I was thinking this way before then. I actually wrote this book. I just put a lot more detail into it since I've been in Hawaii because the culture's slow down here. So I'm able to like take my time and just breathe a little bit and stuff and actually put more and invest more into my writing. I have more time for it now. But I actually wrote this book for when I was up in the States, when I was in the United States, because I realized up there, like, at one point I was very overweight. At one point I was not getting the desired attention I wanted, and I kept blaming everybody else for it. Like, oh, they're just shallow, they're wrong, they don't like me because they're this and that. And I was blaming other people for what I found was wrong with myself. And so eventually I just had to give myself a good kick in the pants, and it's like, you gotta change yourself, you gotta change your appearance, you gotta change your health. And then, like magic, I started taking better care of myself, and I started getting the desired attention I wanted from the world. I started being treated the way that I desired to be treated. When you invest into yourself, you get a return on the way the world invests into you.
It's very cool. Yeah, I could hear you finding a circle of writers. I think you wrote me about that. I wish if you were in Kansas City, I'd pair you up with someone here named Natasha Ria Elskari, and I think you guys would be really interested in each other's conversation here. Like, she wrote a book in Kansas City named Mama Sutra, and it's advice to her son. And it's been controversial because, again, you're like pushing this envelope about what writing should do. But again, I mean, who am I to say, really? I mean, I'm not a publisher, but I think there's a lot of interest there because of people not knowing what to say. So that's pretty cool. I think you have a lot to offer in that regard, because you should have heard from my vantage point how much spirit you put into everything you just talked about. So That's really neat. Well, let's wrap up a little bit here. This show is done early in the mornings and very quick. Is there anything that you would want to say out there to young people, except don't go to Hawaii without knowing somebody first? But hey, I'm loving that you're making it happen. That's like inspiring as heck to me. What else would you tell a young writer, student, person trying to find, their voice, what they could do?
The biggest thing is believing in yourself, because there's a lot of critics out in the world. There's a lot of people there are a lot of negative influences out there. There are a lot of people who just don't believe in you. So in order for you to succeed at anything, not just writing, anything you want to do, have confidence in who you are as a person and trust that voice inside your head. Change when you feel you need to change, not when other people feel you need to change, but just move with your own 2 feet and move in a direction that you feel you need to go in, despite the backlash and despite how scary other people tell you it is. Like, write your own story. No apologies.
I can tell you totally believe every word you're saying. That's really fantastic. That's great. Well, we're gonna call it good here, and I appreciate talking to you so much. It's so interesting to be able to talk to someone in Hawaii that used to be in my classroom in the middle of, smack dab in the middle of the country. So
lots of corn.
So far, you're my furthest reach on this call to people to have this conversation, and so I challenge anybody who watches this show that's farther away from us than Hawaii to get a hold of me. And again, if you're wondering what is this show, we're kind of developing it as we go, but I'm interviewing students and prior students also from Kansas City Public Schools and finding out, how they have grown up and what they've done over the course of the last few years. As I might have been their teacher, I taught in Kansas City Public Schools for 16 years, and now I'm the English coordinator. So I kind of thought it'd be a fantastic idea, and some other people have started to agree, to really try to collect all of the new notions of each other and what we used to know each other as and how we've grown to know each other. And I'm having fun sharing some of the people that I knew a long time ago back to the city. And so this was really fun and great to talk to you, Amber, because I think you have some great things to write about, and keep pursuing those. Again, look for a circle like we were kind of talking about. It sounds like you have a real niche for self-help that is of a really specific nature. And then that's how you get something out there, because not everybody's necessarily doing that. So very excited for you. I forgot how to say goodbye from home Hawaii. Will you teach us?
Aloha.
Aloha. Dang it.
Yeah, Chaka's hang loose.
Yeah, it is that one. My grandpa always did that. So very cool. All right. Good to see you. Have a wonderful day and life.
You too.
Aloha.
Aloha.